The story kicks off with Chris, freshly released from prison after serving a brutal 18-year sentence. His first priority is clear, finding his daughter, but the shady driver hired to smuggle him across the border has other plans.
Where's the money?
The driver isn't alone. He has backup. Clearly, this isn't their first rodeo. After the dust settles, Chris pulls the keys from the driver's pocket and scores himself a getaway car. He heads straight to the city where his daughter lives and begins watching a luxury villa. Before long, a car pulls out of the driveway. Inside is Elisa, the daughter of local mob boss Vincent. Chris follows them quietly into the city. At a red light, something catches his eye. A homeless man cleaning windshields for spare change. A plan clicks. At the next intersection, Chris disguises himself as a drifter and approaches the target vehicle, casually scrubbing the windshield. The bodyguards wave him off, but Chris ignores them, finishes the job, and taps on the glass, demanding payment. They refuse. Without hesitation, Chris smashes the side mirror. The guards jump out of the car, furious. In the chaos, Elisa bolts. Chris takes down the guards, jumps into their vehicle, chases her down, and cuts her off. Panicked, she tries to run, but Chris grabs her, throws her into the trunk, and peels out just seconds before the bodyguards catch up. Back at the mansion, Vincent is losing his mind. He can't understand who would have the suicidal nerve to kidnap his daughter. But what really pushes him over the edge is the guards' useless description of the kidnapper. They can't even remember his face. Vincent sends word across the underworld, a $2 million bounty for any lead on his daughter. Meanwhile, Chris is desperate to get out of the city, but Elisa isn't cooperating. Locked in the trunk, she's kicking, screaming, making as much noise as possible. Fed up, Chris pulls over and opens the trunk to confront her. She bolts. A chase erupts, dragging them deep into the forest. Chris tries to calm her down. "I don't want to hurt you, I just need to talk." To prove he's not some random psychopath, he pulls out an old photo, himself standing beside Elisa's parents. Elisa freezes. Why would a friend of the family kidnap her? Chris tells her the truth. "Your mother sent me. She asked me to come get you. My mother's been dead for 5 years." "I know." Chris explains that before she died, she made him promise if anything ever happened, he would find Elisa. But words aren't enough, so Chris makes a desperate move. He hands her his gun, a massive risk. Elisa doesn't even believe it's loaded.
Here to come get you.
Your mother has been dead for 5 years.
"You believe me now?" They get back into the car, but the mood has completely changed. Suddenly, Elisa demands that Chris turn around and take her back home. At gunpoint, Chris doesn't flinch. He doesn't believe she has it in her to pull the trigger. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Click.
Hey, you believe me now?
The chamber is empty. "What's wrong with you?" Right then, the low fuel warning light starts blinking on the dashboard. Chris slams the steering wheel, pure, unfiltered frustration boiling over.
What the fuck?
While he's busy refueling the car, Elisa notices a group of people nearby, repairing a broken-down vehicle. She sees her chance. Elisa bolts from the car, screaming for help at the top of her lungs. Chris lunges after her, but he's immediately intercepted, surrounded by a hostile crowd. Elisa scrambles toward a payphone, desperate to reach her father. Vincent answers. Just as he begins asking for her location, Chris grabs the phone, cuts the call, and drags her back to the car before she can pull another stunt. He binds her hands. The tension is at its breaking point. Chris warns her that if she doesn't calm down, he'll throw her back in the trunk. That's when she snaps. "Who are you to tell me what to do, father?" Chris locks eyes with her. "I am your father." Elisa freezes.
Why are you to tell me what to do, father?
I'm your father!
Shock floods her face. Chris finally reveals the truth. He's her biological father. As she struggles to process it all, something clicks. Despite all her fighting, screaming, and resistance, Chris has never laid a finger on her. Maybe, just maybe, he's telling the truth. They stop at a diner. For the first time, Elisa doesn't resist. She goes along quietly. Meanwhile, Vincent is a nervous wreck. He knows his daughter is alive, but he has no leads on her location. What he doesn't realize is that the real threat is coming from inside his own house. His assistant has secretly leaked the news of Elisa's disappearance to a ruthless hitman named Corvo. Years ago, Vincent was responsible for an incident that left Corvo severely injured and missing an arm. Since then, the two have been sworn enemies. The assistant's move is cold and calculated. He wants Corvo to intercept Elisa, use her as bait, draw Vincent out, and execute him. With Vincent gone, the assistant would have a clear path to take over the syndicate. A lethal betrayal. Back at the diner, Elisa looks Chris straight in the eyes and finally asks the question that's been burning inside her. "If you're really my father, where have you been all these years?" Chris hesitates. The weight of the past is written all over his face. Finally, he admits the truth. He's been imprisoned. When she presses him for the reason, he stays silent. His eyes drift to the diamond necklace around her neck, a gift he once gave her mother for her birthday a lifetime ago. As they talk about her mother, grief washes over Elisa. She admits she never understood why her mother took her own life. Chris drops a bombshell. She didn't. He believes Vincent had her murdered. The accusation sends Elisa over the edge. She refuses to believe the man who raised her could be a monster, convinced Chris is manipulating her. But before the argument can go any further, click. The unmistakable sound of a gun being cocked. A group of armed thugs storms into the diner, driven by the $2 million bounty. Their objective is simple: execute Chris and take the girl. While Chris is pinned to the ground by the heavies,
Where are they taking her? You don't tell me where they're taking her, I'm gonna bash your fucking up.
Elisa is dragged toward the exit. To make sure he can't follow, the thugs blow out his tires before speeding off. By the time Chris finally breaks free and staggers outside, the taillights are already disappearing into the distance. Furious, he turns on the men left behind. "Where are they taking her? Don't tell me you don't know, or I'll smash your face in." The thugs deliver Elisa to a small-time mob captain named Bona, collecting a massive payday for their trouble. Once they're gone, Bona immediately calls Vincent with the good news. He hands the phone to Elisa. Vincent is frantic.
He says that he's my real father.
He tells her to stay where she is. He's coming for her right now, but Elisa doesn't sound relieved. Instead, she asks him point blank if he had anything to do with her mother's death. The question hits Vincent like a freight train, leaving him momentarily speechless. After a beat, he denies everything. He claims he did everything he could for Anna, and that her suicide remains a mystery to him. Elisa adds quietly, "He says he's my real father." Meanwhile, after checking the security feeds, Bona realizes something is very wrong. Someone is systematically slaughtering his men. Desperate to protect his $2 million prize, he shoves Elisa into a hiding spot. The intruder is none other than Corvo. Though he's missing an arm, his lethality has only intensified. He moves through the building like a storm of steel and cutting down guards with ruthless precision and zero mercy. Terrified, Bona retreats to his office to call for backup. But before he can finish, Elisa knocks him unconscious. Outside, Bona's crew has been completely wiped out. Elisa grabs Bona's gun, hoping to catch Corvo by surprise, but Corvo senses her. Just as he lunges for her, he's intercepted by Chris, who has finally caught up. No words are exchanged, only violence. The two titans collide in a brutal clash. Spotting an opening, Elisa bolts for the roof, only to realize she's trapped with nowhere left to run. Corvo corners her. For a split second, it looks like the end. Then, Chris charges in, tackling Corvo through a glass window. Both men plunge down together. Before they can recover, Bona opens fire with a high-capacity weapon, spraying the area with a storm of bullets. Bona swings his aim back toward Corvo. Click, empty. In the chaos, Elisa saves Chris's life, and together they escape just in time. Moments later, Vincent arrives with an army, but it's too late. All that remains is a house of horrors. Bodies everywhere, each killed with surgical precision. On the security monitors inside Bona's office, Vincent sees Corvo's face. The past comes rushing back. He realizes that saving his daughter has just become an almost impossible mission. Meanwhile, on the run, Chris tries to open up to Elisa about her mother. But the moment Vincent's name comes up, they clash again. Elisa refuses to believe Vincent had anything to do with her mother's death. Even when Chris reveals that his 18-year prison sentence was Vincent's doing, she accuses him of lying. Chris knows words aren't enough. He needs proof. Cold, hard, evidence. Still, Elisa wants answers. Chris finally begins to tell her the truth. Once upon a time, he, Anna, and Vincent were inseparable, a tight-knit crew. Chris explains that he and Anna were lovers. The three of them, Chris, Anna, and Vincent, were once a perfect team. They robbed banks, pulled off high-stakes heists, and never made a single mistake. But everything changed when they discovered Anna was pregnant with Elisa. Chris panicked. They had blown through their money and had no savings for a future, so they agreed on one final job, one last score before walking away for good. The heist went flawlessly. It paid enough to last a lifetime. But at the very last moment, Vincent deliberately left a trail for the police. Chris was sold out. He was arrested and sentenced to 15 years in prison. From the look in Chris's eyes, Alisa feels a terrifying certainty. It's all true. Determined to keep her safe, Chris steals a car on the roadside. His plan is to send Alisa to his sister's place in the United States where she can hide. He admits it won't be glamorous, but she'll be alive. Alisa rejects the idea instantly. She has school, friends, dreams, and she insists Vincent has always been good to her. She refuses to leave. Chris stares at her, speechless, fear gripping his chest. Just then, the car's owner returns. Ignoring Chris's warnings, Alisa jumps out while Chris waves his gun to scare the owner away. Alisa seizes the moment. She jumps into the driver's seat. Before Chris can react, she floors it and speeds off. A second car suddenly approaches. Chris tries to flag it down to save it, but the driver doesn't slow. As Chris dives out of the way, he catches a glimpse of the man behind the wheel. It's Corvo, and he's hunting. Unaware of the danger, Alisa pulls over down the road to call Vincent to come get her. She notices a yellow car creeping up behind her. She assumes it's just another passerby until she gets a clear look at the driver. Pure terror sets in. Alisa bolts. Corvo follows. She runs for her life, desperate to escape.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Behind your back.
Then she hears Chris shouting her name. The sound feels like a lifeline, but the moment she sees him, Corvo appears right behind Chris like a ghost.
Who are you?
Who are you?
He's my father! He's my real father.
1 and 2, 3. Okay. Hands behind your back. Corvo ties Alisa to the car with a rope. Then he binds Chris as well. Curious, he studies him. This man who keeps getting in his way. Who are you? Alisa answers before Chris can. This is my father. He's my real father. Corvo's expression hardens. So, you're Anna's man? When Chris finally regains consciousness, he's hanging from a massive banyan tree in front of a church. It doesn't take long for Vincent to arrive, and they're clearly tipped off by Corvo. Once, these two men were brothers in arms. Now they're enemies who want nothing more than to destroy each other. Vincent's first instinct is to execute Chris on the spot. In his eyes, Chris is the only thing standing between him and Alisa. But then he pauses. Chris might still be useful, so he orders his men to cut him down. On the drive back, Vincent receives a call from Corvo. The message is chilling. Meet me where you cut off my arm. Your daughter is here. Along the way, Chris finally confronts Vincent. Why did you betray me all those years ago? Vincent doesn't hesitate. Because you took Anna, he admits the truth. Vincent had always been in love with her, and to have her for himself, he chose to destroy Chris. Soon they arrive at the rendezvous point. Vincent splits his men into 3 squads to sweep the area, while Chris slips toward the abandoned factory alone. But Vincent's men are no match for a true predator. After a few muffled screams, the forest falls silent. As Vincent lowers one of the bodies, a blade suddenly presses against his throat. It's Corvo. He forces Vincent through the empty trails until they reach Alisa, still held captive inside the factory. The reunion is frantic, but Vincent's blood runs cold when he sees the iron chain welded to Alisa's wrist and a razor-sharp saw hanging nearby. Corvo flips a switch. The chain begins to tighten. Slowly, Alisa screams. The sound reaches Chris. He runs. Meanwhile, Vincent rushes to the top of the conveyor belt, desperately trying to shut down the machinery. As he gets closer, horror sets in. The belt leads straight into a massive industrial shredder. He slams every button on the control panel. Nothing responds. The machine keeps moving. He tries to jam the gears with a metal rod. Useless. In a moment of pure desperation, Vincent grabs the saw. He's ready to cut off his daughter's hand to save her life. But after several agonizing attempts, he can't do it. Suddenly, Corvo changes targets. He grabs Vincent and presses a jagged blade against his throat. The truth finally spills out. Years ago, consumed by bitterness because Anna didn't love him back, Vincent ordered his own brother, Corvo, to kill her. To cover his tracks, Vincent later tried to eliminate Corvo as well. All he managed to do was sever his arm. Since then, Vincent projected his twisted obsession with Anna onto Alisa, playing the role of the loving father to hide his monstrous crime. Vincent's confession adds a crushing weight to Alisa's terror. Realizing his plan is collapsing, Corvo explodes in blind rage. He throws Vincent aside and grabs Alisa, trying to shove her into the roaring machine with his bare hands. Screaming, Alisa looks toward Chris. He's battered, bloodied, barely standing, still reaching for her. Something inside her finally breaks. She opens her heart, releasing everything she's been holding back. In that moment, Alisa understands the truth. This man sacrificed everything. He stared death in the face just to bring her home. The story ends at a quiet cemetery. Chris and Elisa stand side by side in front of Anna's grave, paying their respects. Though Chris was critically injured, he survived. A miracle, as if fate itself refused to separate father and daughter so soon after they found each other. From here on, they will lean on one another, determined to build a peaceful life together as the camera slowly pans back to the abandoned factory. Only Vincent's cold, lifeless body remains on the floor. The movie ends here.